Hello and welcome to Morris Park. I'm Clyde Morris, and today I'm going to do a little ant plant update. It's been a little while since I showed my ant plant. Now recently I cut it back, and so it's bushed out real nice again. They get kind of stringy over the winter, and they lose quite a bit of leaves because I keep a lot of my stuff pretty dry. So they lose a lot of leaves and everything like that. But it's coming back pretty good. Now the reason I have it perched in this tree is because of the fact that it's an epiphyte. Believe it or not, it's a epiphytic caudiciform, so to speak. But the caudex isn't necessarily to store water like in a lot of other desert plants. This actually comes out of tropical conditions. This plant comes from, I believe, New Guinea. And the reason for the caudex is, if you see the holes all through there, those are little ant homes, basically is what those are. Now the inside of the caudex produces a sugary substance that the ants like. And so what the ants do is they live inside the caudex, and their droppings actually feed the plant. So it's kind of a dual relationship there. Symbiotic, if you want to put it that way. Now the only thing about this is, when you buy the ant plant, it has a little card on it that says, will not attract ants. I don't know about that, because I have a very healthy ant population in my ant plant. They are using this plant to live in. You can see they're going in and out of the little holes there, making use of this plant as a home. Now, the only thing about this is, this particular species of ant will live pretty much anywhere. It'll live in the sides of the pots, not necessarily in the soil, but just in the sides and the bottom of the pots, under rocks, in the walls of homes. They live everywhere. The other thing about them is that they produce their own farms. And what I mean by that is they grow mealybugs and scale both. And they transport the bugs around the plant and pretty much farm the plant out until it's dead. So it makes them kind of a pest. Now on this particular plant, they aren't farming any mealybugs or anything. You see the plant is very healthy. The relationship's going very well. Problem is with this plant does not take winter, and I will have to take it indoors when I take it in this fall, which the plant won't really like too much. I've had it for a couple of years now. It's done pretty good, but in the winters it does get pretty rough looking. The thing is, I'm going to have to evict its population there because of the fact that I don't want this in my greenhouse. I already have enough problems with these guys in my greenhouse. And so what I'll do, and I do this every year now, is I take some neem oil in a sprayer and put it on stream spray and spray it up inside these holes. And that way, then they'll kind of leave. I'll do that and leave it outside for a little bit before I have to tuck it away for the winter and get rid of the ants. So that's what I'll do this fall. I'll just spray inside these little holes, and it kind of upsets the balance of things, I guess, but I really don't want this inside my greenhouse. This really isn't good, because they'll just make new populations all over the greenhouse. So best thing to do with this is just leave it outside. So if you have one of these ant plants, and she's doing pretty nice, if you have one of these ant plants and it has a population of ants in it and you're going to have to bring it in, you may want to do that. Just get your little sprayer with some neem oil and spray them down. And you might want to soak the pot real good. I've got this growing in like orchid bark, just like you would an orchid or a bromeliad. But soak the pot real good and see if any ants are actually living down along the sides of the pot or underneath the pot inside, because they have a habit of doing that also. But anyhow, I just wanted to give you this short little video on my little ant plant here. A caudiciform that doesn't store water. It stores ants. Very interesting plant. I wish it didn't do that, but that's, well, that's part of the plant, isn't it? So anyhow, this is Clyde Morris, Morris Park. I'm glad to share this little ant plant with you. And, well, it's tenants there, but they will soon be moving. Look at that. They're really busy on this plant. There's no mealybugs or anything. They're not farming it, because they're getting everything they need from inside this plant. Anyhow, Thank you for joining me this evening. This is Clyde Morris from Morris Park with the Ant Plant. Take care.